I don't know why he would not be welcome here. I mean, even though he is, he sits on the Republican ticket, he bucks the system more than probably most in Washington. I'm running for office as an independent for United States Senate in Arkansas.
Have you ever thought of yourself as a Republican?
No, I've always been an independent. I even went to check. Actually, in Arkansas, 92 out of 100 voters are registered as independents.
I think it's quite a force in Minnesota. That's one elected Jesse Ventura. And if you don't watch it, but I also wondered this, and I've asked a few people this: do you think this movement grew out of a year and a half ago or so, the Republicans ignoring something in a whole group of people, that this is sort of a response to that? I think a lot of people here think they're the true keepers of the Constitution, and they want to poke the Republican Party a bit and say, thank you. Where I think you should.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what's taking place here. Conservatives have sat silent for so long because, you know, it's their country. They believe in the Constitution. They believe that everything is going to go, myself included. They were content with what they had and the way they were living their lives. And then one day they woke up and the country was in disarray and nobody was listening. And so I equate it to Paul Revere and the British are coming, and all of a sudden you get common men at the time grabbing up their arms and going to the battlefield to fight for freedom. Well, today, now you have the common person, common men and common women, only they're not picking up arms, they're picking up their cell phones and they're picking up their computers, and they're doing the same thing. They're networking with one another across the nation so that once again our voice will be heard, and our children and grandchildren will be able to. Well, myself, I have not been on the battlefield in Afghanistan since 2006. And I have not.
People can't say that.
Right, and I have not seen the intelligence. I have actually, my team we did great things in the Helmand province, and now there's a presence there where before there was not. But until I see the intelligence to where I can figure, because you don't know how the battlefield has changed, how we're being perceived.
The studies by George Pate with the University of Chicago.
No, I have not.
He looked at something like 800 suicide bombings, and he thought that maybe 80% of the people thought that their homeland was occupied. Now, they actually might live in a suburb of America and think that their homeland is occupied, and I think that they may be provoking them for a while as long as they're there.
Right. One of the things I learned about Afghanistan, of course, Afghanistan and Iraq are two different mentalities. I actually lived with the people of Afghanistan for about 4 months. The people of Afghanistan are survivors. They typically, at least then, if you had a suicide bomber, it was not an Afghan, it was somebody, a foreigner from another country. So they don't generally, the majority of the people in Afghanistan do not like the Taliban. I mean, they were a small sect of people that gained control, and they were pushing their views on Islam on the rest of the populace. So, you know, I don't know a lot about Iraq because I have not been there, but I do know that in Afghanistan they're not that much different than us, except that they're living in a whole different, they're living in biblical times based on the way that they.
Did you alter the defense budget at all here towards asymmetric warfare? Does that mean maybe fewer F-22s and more maybe amphibious forces where we can march over there offshore?
Well, one of the things that I have learned from being involved in the full spectrum of warfare is that air power is one of the most important aspects of the fight. If you control the skies, you control the battlefield.
F-22 is a special plane, but for a long time we thought it would be in the air alone. So we've just seen a stealth fighter in Russia.
Exactly. Yeah, the battlefield, it's an ever-changing battlefield. The world is ever-changing, and if you look back in history, everything has progressed along. I mean, even with the atomic bomb, then of course, next thing you know, the Russians had the atomic bomb. And the Germans were working on it before we ever started. And it's even rumored that the Japanese were working on it. So nothing ever stays a secret forever.
They all were.
Exactly.
Thanks very much.